He is the best striker in the Premier League.
In the world.
He is the best winger in the Premier League, and he is the best number 10 in the Premier League.
It's all right being the difference maker when you're playing Ipswich at home. He's the difference maker when they're playing Arsenal, when they're playing Chelsea, when they're playing City. He shows up then.
People thought he was going to Saudi. They thought it was Mo Saudi next season. That's what they thought it was. Nah, I didn't say Mikel Artichoke and his men are going to be second, boy. You know what I mean? That man could all be fifth.
They go direct, 1 against 1. They go. Give me the ball, I'm going to do it.
Bit part players, yeah, and this guy has just turned them into a main course. Nuno has been cooking.
I love the way they play.
Yeah, but
even if they sack him, the Premier League should give him a job because it's great to watch.
I'll be here. What do you mean? I'm loving big and juicy.
He done it twice in 3 years. So it can't be luck. You
Julian,
don't joke with Jules.
If you're watching, Julian, I totally take that back.
I wasn't involved.
Hi everybody, welcome along to the lineup, brought to you of course by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. As ever, I'm joined by the former Cruiserweight World Champion, and he is Tony Bellew. Tony, hi to you. And the YouTube sensation who is Expressions. But the man completing our lineup this month has had a prolific career both on and off the pitch, a tenacious defender for Everton and West Ham, and a key figure for his national side, Croatia. He is the first former Premier League manager we have ever had on this show, with managerial spells at both West Ham and West Brom. And that's not all. He's also managed in Croatia, in Turkey, in Russia, in China, and in Saudi Arabia. It is, of course, Slaven Bilić, ladies and gentlemen. Slaven Bilić is with us. Slav, how are you?
I'm fine, Jim. Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is a pleasure that you are joining us on this very show. Before we get stuck into football, would you believe it, Slaven, that on May the 29th, Tony and Expressions will be on stage at the O2 Arena here in London in front of 14,000 people for the BetMGM Premier League Darts Final, going head-to-head over the 9-dart challenge. Guys, Tony, have you been practicing?
I've just been having a go upstairs, and the results wasn't very good. I mean, the best I hit was 105. So, yeah, that was the best I had.
Me, I'm rather devastated, Jim, because when you're making big announcements and that, I thought you were going to let them know, look what Expressions is wearing, fam. I'm looking half man, half amazing. Genetically jacked, athletically stacked, half man, half amazing, modern day Mac. I'm fitting in with you lot. All I need is a polo neck and that. You know what I'm saying?
No tracksuit X.
Yeah, nah, little, you know what I mean? We ain't going to shout the brand out and that, but yeah, we're looking nice, you know what I'm saying? Blue and white Tottenham colours and that, why not?
No, what I asked you about, I'm delighted that you're feeling good in what you're wearing, and why shouldn't you? I am absolutely stewing in this white polo neck. Now, I think we all agree that the Premier League race is probably all but done. So, Slav, I want to ask you straight away, Liverpool and Arne Slot. On Slot, you know what it's like to manage at this level. Yeah. How impressed have you been with Arne Slot?
Big time. Big time. He's done great. I mean, he was in Holland, he was at Feyenoord, which is kind of a similar on a lower level, a little bit lower. It's similar. It's a Feyenoord is not Ajax. They're not flashy, you know what I mean? They're a hard-working team. It's energy, it's everything. Demanding fans, great stadium. He came to Liverpool, and he's doing the same. He kept everything in way what Liverpool was under Klopp, which was good. Still, they're bombing up. Still, they are very offensive. Still, they are great in pressing. Still, they are great in transition, offensive. But then he brought they're a bit more patient on the ball. They are great on the ball. They are keeping the ball. They have like what they call today better structured. And he done amazing.
He is amazing.
It's his first season. And this is first season.
It is brilliant. What he's like to do, the changes I've seen in Liverpool the most is how patient they are at the start of games. Usually they're at teams straight away from the get-go. Now they seem to start slow, have a good look at you, and if anything, they exhaust you. By 60 minutes, the opposition is exhausted because they close you in patches of the pitch, they close you down, and the pitches of play that they put in practice is just, It's unbelievable, and it also helps when you've got the best player in the world, and Mo Salah.
I think everyone on this show should give their flowers to my good friend, Anthony Bellew, because you asked him week after week, is the title race over? He says it's over. He said it's over, Jim.
Yeah.
It's over, Jim. It's over, Jim. And let me tell you this about Arne Slot. He's come in, and this is what I like about what you said, Slaven. Yeah, he said that he's taken all of the good things Klopp's done, and he's also brought in his stuff, because the Liverpool team, they run a lot less than they did in the Klopp team, and you could see that by the injuries. It's not that they're not pressing, they're doing the same pressing, but off the ball, they're not unnecessarily running. Like, their players, the fact that he's been able to come in, he hasn't really bought anyone, and he's brought the Jurgen press style, and he's added his little pepper to it. For me, is amazing, because, like, Liverpool have been on fire.
Tell me.
You know what? I think they run a lot, but they don't run what they do, what Barcelona used to do 15 years ago. They rest. When they have a ball, they rest. Sometimes you see they keep the ball. What they're doing, they're resting. So, and then they are fresh when they lose it. But don't forget, it's a team sport, all right? But don't forget that Liverpool has got, they're all good. They're all very good. They're all excellent. But key positions, keeper, Van Dijk, and Salah.
Yeah.
They are
the spine
last
of it.
season,
10 out of 10. You know, Salah is at the moment. He's the best striker in the Premier League.
In the world.
He is the best winger in the Premier League, and he is the best number 10 in the Premier League.
But last season under Klopp, remember Klopp was subbing him off, taking him off. He wasn't playing games. He was on the bench. He was regressing. People thought he was going to Saudi. They thought it was Mo Saudi next season. That's what they thought it was. No, real talk. They thought he was going to Al Riyadh, Al something. That's where they thought he was going. I
was there last season.
And
Van Dijk was supposed to go there.
Van Dijk as well. People saying, oh, Van Dijk's legs are going. People were making excuses, saying that this Liverpool team, that when the new manager comes in, then they're going to fail, they're going to fall behind. And it's almost like Mo Salah, when has he had a season like this? He's unplayable. He's doing it by himself.
Well, you were in Saudi, Slaven. Were you expecting Salah to join the Saudi Pro League at that? Were you just waiting for his arrival?
Whole Saudi was ready. I mean, it's a big club, Al Ittihad. It's a massive club there in Saudi. The money is, of course, for such a big star like as Mo Salah is. Also, he's a Muslim, and then everything, blah blah blah. He would be the star of the league and everything. And it was job done. There.
Were you surprised he didn't turn up? That he stayed at Liverpool?
I wasn't surprised because he's a sportsman. He knows it's waiting for him. He knows that Saudi project is not a 1 year, so take it or gone.
Sure.
No, he knows he's gonna come. The only problem if he gets injured. But it's funny that with Liverpool, you know, how the situations where everybody was thinking it's gonna be a problem turn up to be good. This contract situation with them. You know, Mo Salah, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, but now they are, you have a feeling they're even more motivated now.
Yes. They're on top of their game.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Is Salah the best player in world football right now, Slav?
If you are yes or no, yes. At the moment, yeah, definitely. Because I told you, I mean, the stuff that he's doing, not only goals, assists, everything. Everything. And he's the player that you just have to give him a ball. Whatever ball, just a simple ball. He doesn't need a crazy ball. He doesn't need a through ball to go
He's the difference maker.
Just give him a ball.
And in big games as well. It's not just, it's all right being the difference maker when you're playing Ipswich at home. He's the difference maker when they're playing Arsenal, when they're playing Chelsea, when they're playing City. He shows up then. And that's the sign of a top player when he's doing it against other top teams. As I said before, it's easy having cherry pickings against your Ipswiches and your Southamptons, but when you're firing them past your Cities, your Chelseas, teams like that, it shows you what he's about.
Yeah, my good thing is
my thing is with Salah as well. He's not always. If you actually watch Liverpool play, it's not like every game he has a fantastic game, but every game he gets GA. He gets a goal or an assist. You could say, where's Salah? We need to take him off this, that, and you pop up last-minute goal. Do you know what I mean? He's always, like, the man doesn't waste his time on the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying?
The great thing about Liverpool at the moment, which wasn't the case already, I remember not fight, but the Cold War between Mane, Salah, you know.
I said it.
Now you have a situation. They are first, they are top of the table, so it's all blooming, everything. But still, what I like to see, I see Salah, even when he doesn't score, when somebody else scores, like Szoboszlai scores or Diaz scored, he's happy.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's happy, you know what I mean?
He wasn't like that with Mane. Mane and Salah was like Biggie and Tupac. I told you. I did. No, I said it. I did.
He did say it, to be fair. Listen, I'm sure there's disputes in all teams, in great teams. You go back to Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah.
They do it on the pitch, but do they like each other away from it? Maybe not, but they learn how to cope. The professionals.
And there's the AFCON thing as well, because remember, Senegal and Egypt, so you know what I mean? They're both the main guys for their countries as well. And
are we all agreed he is the world's best player at this time?
This time, yes.
I will tell you, Jim, tell me who's better. And can anybody tell me someone who's better? Because I can't.
That's my guy.
I can only put Bellingham up there and Vinicius. They're the only two I can even say that
Bellingham.
that fight you're on.
Yeah.
But I do still think, which pains me to say, that Mo Salah is
Jude Bellingham needs to follow this guy on social media, because I'm telling you, every episode he somehow squeezes Jude into a conversation.
Oh, the boy's special. He will end up England's greatest ever player.
Slav, before we leave Salah, I cannot imagine him in any other club shirt other than a Liverpool shirt.
You can't.
I can't imagine him playing for anyone else. It might happen, and of course we'll await that moment. But to me, he is Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool.
I think if he leaves, it's going to be Saudi. But then, to be fair, I can imagine Salah at Barcelona.
Madrid.
Why not? I can't imagine him in any other Premier League club.
Yeah.
That's where I agree with you. But
Never seen
Real Madrid, they don't need him, no matter how good he is and everything. They don't need it. Barcelona, with Lamal and Rafinha.
But they're gonna have to sell about four stadium stands to afford Salah, but you know what I mean? Hold about 10,000 weddings on the pitch.
Don't forget that Salah, he didn't have an easy path.
Yes.
Basel, then Chelsea. He didn't make it at Chelsea. Then he had to go to Fiorentina, a big league, big clubs. Fiorentina, then Roma, and then Liverpool. And in Liverpool, he became... I think he thinks that Liverpool is his home.
Before we jump off it, how inspiring is it for kids out there and younger players to see that Mo Salah didn't make it at Chelsea, flopped at Chelsea, and it shows you, all them young players out there, that no matter how it's going right now, that doesn't mean that's your end destination. You can, because he is now the best player in the world after literally being a flop at Chelsea.
Yeah, but that's a bit unfair to Mourinho. You know, when the people go, and people love to select the best, or the biggest, which Mourinho is. You know, they go, what about De Bruyne? Yeah, but they were 21 or 22. Mourinho signed Salah.
It was a different time.
He signed him.
He did.
So he loved him, but he couldn't guarantee him that he's going to play every game, because there was already Hazard or whoever.
Yeah, they had a lot of top players, and Mourinho wasn't really one of them guys to like play the kids.
Arjen
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Arjen Robben.
Sure.
Players like that.
Drogba was there.
Legends.
Now, guys, so much for Salah. Before we move on, this is the first opportunity we've had on the lineup to talk about Jamie Carragher's comments regarding AFCON maybe not being a major tournament. It was agreed that maybe the way he worded it was somewhat clumsy. Maybe it didn't quite come out the way he thought it would come out. But there was a major backlash from this, guys, wasn't there? From JJ Okocha, John Obi Mikel. Where do you stand on his comments? You first. Were they disrespectful?
I think it's out of order. And the reason why I think it's out of order is because the nation that you play for, AFCON, is for African players, like, that's it. That's our Euros, do you know what I mean? That's what it is. So obviously, there's a lot of players that go and play for England that could have maybe played for African countries, innit? You've seen it, innit? Like, Saka could have played for Nigeria, do you know what I'm saying? But as an African footballer, if you want to go and play for your nation, you need to treat that competition, the world needs to treat that competition like they treat the Euros, because that's their competition to play in. And you can't say, if Salah wins the AFCON, it isn't like England winning the Euros, because it's exactly the same. Like, I don't care about people be like, the quality or this, that, and the other, because we've got a lot of top African footballers. And look, you're talking about Mo Salah right now as him being the best in the world. That's his competition. How's Jamie Carragher talking about it like that? It makes no sense.
I don't think that it was. You said the right word. You said clumsy. It was clumsy. Yeah.
It didn't come out the way he thought it was going to come out.
I think what he wanted to say, that winning AFCON ain't gonna help Salah winning Ballon d'Or.
Right.
And that's different. That's not disrespecting.
Because it doesn't get the media coverage. But
Jamie Carragher should know what he knows. During his playing career, he was in a dressing room with some players who played for Liverpool and for African teams, and you talk to them, and he realized even then that what it means to those players. Yeah. You said the best. It is like Euro for us, of course, or Copa America for South America.
Yeah.
What Jamie, I hope and I think really, he's not stupid. He didn't mean to be disrespectful. He only said, I don't think that will make a major impact for Salah to win Ballon d'Or.
And you understand, and you can understand why he said that. It doesn't make it right, but you can understand why he said that. The AFCON doesn't get the media exposure that it deserves. But for them players playing in it, that means the world to them.
Definitely.
That means the world to them. If I was African
be the best
player,
on their continent, that means everything and more to them. So I just think Jay's being a bit naive, but he'll see it. I expect Jay to come out soon and probably, I wouldn't say retract the comments, because his comments to a degree are correct. They just maybe shouldn't be said in the format that they've been said.
Yeah, and of course he's sitting in the same studio at the same time, as Micah Richards, as Sturridge, who quite rightly want to defend the AFCON as a tournament.
Yeah.
But I go with Slaven. I thought, Jamie, if he looks back in it, the wording of it was clumsy.
you can't say that.
And before you know where he was in a bit of a firefight. It happens.
No, I hear that still, but I stand by what I said. Obviously, in regard to the AFCON as a tournament, obviously the coverage and how it's treated. Yeah, I know it's not treated like the Euro, so I'm not going to sit here and say, but I believe it should be, innit? You know what I mean? If the players are going to take their time
Euro
and
is
represent
not
their country.
treated in Latin America also.
It's not.
Yeah, no one cares about
But because we are European, we think Euro is like a World Cup. It's not. It is for us, but not for them.
In America, no one cares about the Euro.
Exactly.
Copa America as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Guys, what we do know is this season there is a 99.5% that the team that finishes 5th in the Premier League will have done enough to qualify for the Champions League. 6 points currently covers Forest in 3rd, down to Aston Villa in 10th. So the race is on to try and get one of those Champions League places. Slaven, I'm going to get X once in, but we're not letting him in at this stage.
Why are you not letting me in? Tottenham are
I'm not
making
letting
Europe.
you in at
We're
that
making
stage.
Europe.
Wow.
You need to
Wow.
We are
wait
making,
your
you're talking
moment.
about 5th places. We're making Europe. When we win that Europa League with Ange Kopstokoglu, we're going to see.
Wow.
I'll be here.
Bro,
What do you mean? I'm loving big Ange. You know what I mean? What do you mean?
We're coming to you.
Wow.
But the top 10 at the moment,
Wow.
Slaven, the top 10 at the moment, Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, Man City, Chelsea. That's how the top 5 look. Then Newcastle, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham, Villa. Who do you think will make the top 5? We're looking at Liverpool, Arsenal.
They're safe.
1 and 2.
What does it mean? Yeah. Definitely. Then for me, Man City. Man City should, now they're out of Europe, and they should. I mean,
They're in top 5.
Can Arsenal
they
hold on to
should.
second?
And we're
They
looking
should.
at...
I think Forest, I like Forest. Everybody is surprised, including me. I'm also surprised. They're doing great and everything. Good. Chapeau to Nuno. But they are a very balanced team. They got everything.
On the offense.
So who's your 5th? Who's your 5th?
On my 5th, it's going to be between Newcastle, Chelsea, and don't underestimate Bournemouth.
Oh,
To sneak there.
Jason
can you
Bournemouth,
imagine that?
But because they're playing that free football, they're enjoying. They jump on that wave of success, and they don't want to stop.
but Slaven, who would have thought at the start of the season that Forest and Bournemouth might end up top 5?
Yeah, we were
fight, bro.
talking the same thing about Leicester, and they won the league then.
True.
That's so. Forest is a great example. If you have the owner, Marinakis, he's a very smart man. He's very for a long, big businessman,
And we need to put
but
respect
football
on Nuno's
businessman
name as well.
He owns Olympiacos 40, 50, 60 years.
There is a saying, though.
Since Nuno got sacked.
Just analyze them shortly, like Chris Wood. He's having maybe he's not a player like Isak, and he's not great investment, but this season he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Then 3 players behind.
Gibbs White.
Gibbs
Amazing
White,
season.
Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, they go direct, 1 against 1, they go, give me the ball, I'm going to do it. Then very solid in midfield, and couple of really good centre backs, great goalkeeper, flanks good. So they're very balanced team.
It's all
what it is?
together.
I think we need to give respect. Obviously, big up the players. They are good players. But you see Nuno, Like, since Nuno got sacked by Tottenham, yeah, like, people don't realise, like, he's gone and won trophies everywhere he's been. Do you get me? He's gone to Saudi, and he's actually dominated. Like, you think, oh, why was he sacked? Do you know what I mean? He's actually had very good tenures as a manager everywhere he's been. Nottingham Forest, the last couple of seasons, when they came in, they were spending mad amount of money. They're about the only team that bought about 24 players in one window or something like that. And they were thinking, oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? Nuno has come in, yeah, and don't get me wrong, Callum Hudson-Odoi, a want away, throw away, no one wanted him. Do you know what I mean? Elanga, Man United, no one wanted him. Do you know what I mean? Chris Wood as well, CW, do you know what I mean? Morgan Gibbs-White, yeah, he was gonna leave earlier in the thing. These were just, I wouldn't want to disrespect them. Bit part players, yeah, and this guy has just turned them into a main course. Nuno has been cooking. We need to put respect on Nuno. Do I think Forest will make Champions League spot? Yes, I do. Champions League, I'm going.
The greatest thing about Nuno is, like, very often small club, but they are third.
Yeah.
They get a little bit relaxed. You know, we are good. Yeah. No, they don't relax. Every game they enter, like they're bottom of the table. Not bottom, but fighting for the relegation. They go like that. They do those dirty things. They do those basics.
They fight like,
and that's great.
I love it.
That is hard to keep when you are high on the table.
Yes.
That's not impossible, but very difficult to keep that energy.
Everyone's running for the cause. Everyone's acting.
Exactly.
They're all fighting for each other.
So, Tony, who would your fifth be? If we're talking Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, say Man City, that's how it looks at the moment. Who's your fifth? Chelsea are in fifth at the moment. Will it be Newcastle? Will it be Bournemouth? As Slav maybe said.
I thought the Chelsea manager was doing really well up until the Christmas period, and then think the wheels seem to have come off at the moment. I think it's a proper battle and struggle. I think the deciding factors will come against each other when they start pitting off against each other. I don't think no one's going to take many points off Liverpool. The only way Liverpool are going to drop points is if it's literally done within the next couple of weeks, and I mean mathematically done. That's the only way because Liverpool will keep going. The Champions League is the one that takes people away from the league a little bit. So the boys left in the Champions League, they're the ones who are going to struggle in the league, in my opinion. Liverpool won't struggle because they're so far ahead now, they're untouchable. Arsenal, for me, can Arsenal hold on to second? Because how does it work? Is it the top five and then do they just go straight into that big table thing again?
Nah, I think the fifth one might have to qualify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because can Arsenal hold on to second?
That's a big thing. That's what I'm saying. That's a big thing.
Like, they're dropping points like every week now.
They are. They've literally 700 million spent. They've got nothing up top. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, they're shooting blank.
Like that.
That's what I mean. So for me, I don't think Arsenal will ski.
A very important game for this fifth place is the Carabao Cup final. Newcastle against Liverpool. If Newcastle win, that's gonna give them, you know what I mean, a big push, like big.
I think even if they lose, that's all they've got.
If they lose, then that's all they've got is the league.
Yeah, because that's
so Gordon's got too much focus.
So in both situations, if they lose, they're gonna be like, guys, we gotta do it now for the league. If they win, it's gonna give them a big push.
So the way it's looking, Liverpool win it.
Yep.
Arsenal second.
Nah, I didn't say Mikel Artichoke and his men are going to be second, boy. You know what I mean? Them man could all be fifth. Do you know what I mean? Let's not do that. Let's not just think that Arsenal are going to be second. Have you seen them?
How many points?
Them man are toothless at the moment. Do you know what I mean? They got 700 million spent on left backs.
That's right. Well, memory serves me right. Arsenal are second. Where are Tottenham? We'll get back to them.
Where's Tottenham? Tottenham are fighting in a European trophy that Arsenal just will win a trophy before Arsenal. Save this. How dare you laugh?
Give me your five at the end of this season. Who's your five?
I can't believe the turnaround pass.
Liverpool. With your big hands, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Respect my manager tones, man. All right, so I'm going to go Liverpool, Man City. What do you mean? Liverpool, Man City. This is my moment, Jim. It's not your moment, yeah? Liverpool, Man City, Woolwich, Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Woolwich, Arsenal. I'm going to go Forest, and I'm going to go... You know what? Even though Enzo Maresca's looking like Ten Hag right now, I'm going to say Chelsea.
You're going to get it over the line?
Yeah, I think they will, man. The quality in that squad's just too much, man.
Cole Palmer's got to find his feet again.
He does. They need to play him back on the right is what they need to do.
Manchester City and Chelsea. Say they don't qualify. Say Chelsea don't qualify. Is Maresca safe to go into next season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a manager, so I'm always protecting. Give every decent manager time, he's going to do the job.
What says that
What's
then?
the point of changing him?
Aye.
Their squad is very young.
It is.
So this is what he wants,
very
but
young.
we need to ask him
So
what he
it takes
thinks is gonna
time.
happen.
It takes time.
Slav, when you say
Even
decent
if he
manager,
doesn't-
what makes him a decent manager, though? What makes a decent manager?
Well, he showed in you said up until Christmas there was one part that they played really good, really nice and well.
Yeah.
And they didn't start great. So he showed that he's capable of turning them to play good. Then there was few injuries, very young squad.
Yeah.
Then Palmer dropped a bit.
Yeah.
And they had to give him time.
But Enzo Mastresca came in, he axed out all of these, man. He sent Chalobah to Palace and then called him back. He sent Raheem the Dream to Arsenal. Like he got rid of so many different players, yeah, because he said he didn't want this level of squad. He said I only want to work with like 25 or whatever. So he put his foot down, you know what I'm saying? And he said I want this. So now you can't really blame injuries and all of that because they've got one of the biggest squads in there.
What's the point of sacking him?
No. I don't think.
What's the point?
I don't think that they should sack him. But I know how Chelsea.
I
sack
agree.
people.
When he was appointed Chelsea manager, you know what I mean. I was also surprised.
Yeah.
1 year with Leicester in the Championship. You know what? Before, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you had to do a bit more.
Yeah.
To become Chelsea manager. But they appointed him. And what's the point now of sacking him? If he finishes sixth.
Yeah.
What's the point?
He goes into next season.
Exactly.
Very
He's
briefly,
getting sacked.
what's your take on
Quarterback
his manager, Ange Postecoglou?
Oh, I love him. Do you love watch Spurs playing? I love it. I think only
You scored three,
only
scored four.
one who can criticize Ange and say something against us Spurs fans.
Yeah.
For all the others, they're playing fantastic.
Yeah, it's great to watch.
It's great. It's great to watch.
who we are,
They
mate.
play. They create. They this. I love him. I love the way they play.
Yeah, but
Even if they sack him, the Premier League should give him a job because it's great to watch.
Oh, I love that.
It's great to watch.
If they sack him, the
And
Premier
I
League
love
should
it.
give him a job.
The only one thing.
Because the way he plays is great to watch.
And a lot of injuries.
We need to put a sarcasm meter next to Slaven.
No.
I want to know what's going on. No, because he's really saying that everyone loves the way you play. Yeah, because they're putting six past us. Of course you're going to love that. You get me? Managers come out and be like, oh, I love Ange. You know, like I love Ange, the way they play football. Now we're hearing managers come out and say, no, if they play that high line. I remember when we played Newcastle, Isak came out in the interview and said, listen, I can't wait to play Spurs. When they play that high line,
Don't forget that they have
But let me tell you this
top centre backs injured. And when you play like that, if you are without top centre backs,
100%.
you are dead.
But Ange's philosophy, is it your philosophy?
I like it. No, but I like that philosophy. You gotta be brave. You gotta be brave to play like that. There's one thing I like him personally to be fair. The only thing that I can criticize him for is in the beginning when it was all great, it was like the message that I was getting from his press conferences or whatever was like, it doesn't matter if we concede. Doesn't matter if we lose. We ain't gonna change. Do you remember that game against Chelsea?
That's what he said.
With two, no, I don't care if we concede.
Yeah.
It's who we are.
It matters if you concede.
Defensive line in
concede.
Amsterdam with 9 men, you know.
When it comes to players, that mentality, it doesn't matter if we concede. I ain't gonna track back. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing.
And I'm sure that he is too good and too serious manager that he wanted to say that. He didn't want to transmit that message. His message was probably, let's be brave, guys. Let's be positive, even if we concede. But maybe it was wrong to go like that. Doesn't matter.
My thing is with Ange, like when it's working and it's right, when he's got everything that he needs, like we're cooking, champagne football, kangaroos in sauce, all of that. But bro, it's like, when you take some elements out of it, I want to see you adapt, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's all well and good playing this gung-ho football, but without Van der Ven and Romero, you can't expect Archie Gray and Ben Davis to do the job. And don't get me wrong, and that's what I'm seeing him do. Because at first, like you said, 9 men will still be having a high line in that. Ange has definitely been adapting, do you know what I mean? And the injuries that we've had this season are unprecedented. It's NHS Hotspur, fam. Next season, we're having NHS, not AIA. It's going to say NHS.
Has that got to be looked at, though, with someone in the club about these injuries?
The Ange ball is turning hamstrings into cheese strings, I'm telling you. The high line, the way you got to turn around, the transitions, you know, the recovery runs.
I do admire what he says. I mean, listen, when he came out and just went, I will not have a set-piece coach. I do not need a set-piece coach. Every team in the Premier League has a set-piece coach.
He hasn't even got a coach.
He just finished his section.
You know, he hasn't even got a coach.
He just comes out and goes,
hold on, let me lie. You know, sorry, Jim. You know, Ange hasn't even got a coaching staff. Wherever he goes, he doesn't bring a team.
Wow.
Right.
So he's got Ryan Mason, Phil Jedinak. I'm not even, and I don't know the rest of you lot's names, bruv, but there's a reason for that.
He goes into press conference and just says, it's who we are, mate.
Yeah.
But
the football they play
You go into next season with Ange, are you happy? Yes or no?
All right, let me tell you this, yeah? Yes. Yeah, 100%, because I need him to win that trophy for me after the season that I've had. If we don't win the Europa League, I need to see where we are with the rest of their games. And it's going to be 10th or whatever, but I want to see if we can go on a run. And I'm talking, it's got to be diarrhea, Usain Bolt, fam. That's the sort of run that we need to go on.
That was as close to an Ange vote of confidence as we'll ever get.
Ange in trouble.
That's not way of life. We are not very disciplined nation. No, we are
So
not.
what is it? If it's not
we are
sport,
not. No, we are not. We are not. We eat. They eat McDonald's. They drink. They smoke.
Now, on this show, as you will know, we have had some great former top players in the game join us. We've had Robbie Fowler. We've had Emmanuel Petit. We had Van der Vaart. Edgar Davids. My God, the list is endless. But with Slaven with us today, obviously, we're going to get an insight into what it takes to be a top manager. And you are, my friend, a top manager. But what does it take? What do you need, Slaven, to go into the Premier League and manage? What are the component parts?
Premier League, Premier League is 95% of the managers. They from Italy, from Germany, from Spain, whatever, from Australia, wants to come to Premier League. It's not easy, So first thing that you notice when you come to Premier League is like the size of it. I mean, before I came to Premier League, I was 6 years in Croatia as a national team, big job, and then I went to Russia, then I went to Turkey. In Turkey, football is very popular. Yeah. And I was at Besiktas, which is a giant. Came to Premier League, so you feel important and everything, and blah, blah, blah. You come to Premier League, and your first game, it was Arsenal away. And we won 2-0, I think, yeah. and then after when you go to talk to press, to TV stations, when they tell you, this is Sky, after Sky, you're going to go to BBC Match of the Day, then you have Germany, then you have Bein Sport, then you have New Zealand, Australia, America, then you realize the whole world is watching.
Everywhere.
So it's not for everyone, but you know what? That drive, that importance, that responsibility that you get, it's like crazy. You know what I mean?
When you say it's not for everyone, are you talking about Amarim Villas-Boas, the Man United, the Man United manager? Because clearly he's struggling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but.
You seen what's going on over there?
Remember? I wasn't thinking about him, but that's a,
remember when we were
that's
talking
not great
about
example, but good example. You know what I mean? He's a great coach. The whole Europe was crazy about Amorim.
Yeah.
What he done with Sporting Lisbon is to win twice in 3 years.
And he never won it.
With Sporting, and there's Benfica, bigger. There's Porto, bigger.
Porto.
To do it, and then in the Champions League to play like you are always there, like 6 out of 6 wins, and every club was thinking about Amorim. Then he came here, and then you realize the size of the league.
Yeah.
My friend. My very good friend, he comes from my hometown, Split, in Croatia. Juric is now at Southampton. He was 15 years in Italy. Very, very recognized coach in Italy. He was at Torino 3 years. Before Southampton, he was at AS Rome, a massive club, AS Rome, much bigger than Southampton. He came to Premier League and said, you can't make a mistake here. Straight away it's a goal.
Yeah.
Straight away it's a goal, you know. So
have you spoken to Ivan Juric, Slaven?
Top man.
I mean, life is. I mean, it's so hard. It's unbelievable for him at Southampton.
But that also shows you how big this league is. Can you imagine? Ivan Juric, top coach. He was coach in September and October. Roma. You know what is Roma in Italy?
Yeah.
It's institution, massive. He had to go to Southampton. Normally, you know what I mean. He shouldn't be going to Southampton, rock bottom of the league and everything, blah blah blah. That just shows you how big this stage is. How big Premier League is.
Yeah. Before we go any further, Slaven, is it going to work for Ruben Amorim? Is it going to work out for him at Manchester
I told you before, he proved himself. He's new in Premier League. But Ruben Amorim done a job, and he didn't win one title in 1 year, and then maybe you were lucky, or Benfica and Porto had a year off. You know, no, he done it twice in 3 years. So it can't be luck. You need luck, but it can't be only luck. So give him time, he's gonna do it. But now at the moment, is he struggling? He's struggling.
He's depleted
big time.
the team. He's depleted the team. He's made it worse.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the point? I mean, I defend every manager, I told you. But if you don't have a wing-backs, then why?
Yeah, but Slaven, he won't change his way of playing. He will not change.
He's going to have to. Otherwise, he's going to be out the door.
Your principles.
And
new managers, you have your principles.
Exactly. But I agree. When I watch Man United, and Man United never played with three at the back.
He doesn't change his ways.
Always played with good fullbacks and good wingers. Yeah, always. But now, if you don't have the players, then what's the point?
With this financial fair play,
forcing that.
With financial fair play, you don't understand. He'll be gone. You can't sack a squad. You can sack a manager.
Man United need to sell to bring in players.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you've brought him in halfway through the season. Yeah. He shouldn't have accepted the job. Like, he decided to accept the job. And if you're going to accept the job, we saw it with Arne Slot. Arne Slot came in. He said, you know what? Let me just tinker what Klopp's doing in my first season. I'm sure Arne Slot didn't expect to win the league already. He said, you know what? Let me see what I can do with this thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He should be better next than where he is.
They brought him in halfway, and then he's saying, all right, boom, we're going from 4 at the back. Don't get me wrong. And how they played before wasn't working. But you saw Ruud van Nistelrooy come in, tweak what Erik ten Hag was doing, and go undefeated.
But
do you know what I mean? Amarim's playing 5 at the back for guys that don't know how to play 5 at the back.
But
Here we go.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is...
It's the board.
It's the board. Of Amorim.
Yeah.
You said a great point now.
Yeah, it's the point.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Klopp is going. Then the people who are making decisions at Liverpool, they said for 1 hour or a week. They say, who are we going to appoint? Who is a good solution for us? Who plays similar to Liverpool style, to Anfield, to Klopp? Arne Slot, there's a guy in Feyenoord, it's very similar. Yeah. Now, when you appoint Amorim, you know how Amorim is going to play.
You do.
So it's not his fault.
But
if it's a fault, it's a fault of the people who appointed him.
Bringing him in halfway.
They knew They knew he's playing with 3 at the back.
So you're telling me you appoint a man who's a world-class manager. He's got to be able to adapt.
He can, but that's not him.
But it has to be him.
Conte adapted when he came to Chelsea. You know, he changed when they lost against Arsenal. He changed the system, and then they won the league.
Yeah, the 3 at the back with Moses.
Yeah, but when you are
Moses.
good in something and you believe in something, and you have, that's me. That's how I play. I've done well with Sporting. I've done well. That's what brought me to Manchester United.
Yeah.
That style. Why should I change it? And you believe in that, and it doesn't start well. You lose one. Okay, next one we're going to win.
Guardiola,
next one we're going to
Pep Guardiola adapts.
He reinvents himself every season. He hasn't done it this season, but...
Pep Guardiola adapted Manchester City because they were playing amazing football without Haaland, and they played amazing football with Haaland. When they didn't have Haaland 2 seasons ago, they were still flying.
Yes.
They had Haaland last season, they were on
I adore Guardiola. He's the best. But how he
Pep Guardiola is the best.
But he bought 10 players, or 5 or 7 or 8.
Yeah.
In his first season, it wasn't that they didn't win the title. It was Leicester.
Amorim has to adapt.
It was Chelsea. Chelsea who won the title.
The thing, but as we know, Slaven, as everybody around this table knows, the owners are in charge. What they say, they want to get. When you managed, what was that dynamic like?
That was a bit different. It was not, let's say, everything's changed very, very fast. When I was at West Ham, when I came to West Ham, it was 2015. All right, I was a manager. 3 years after, I came to West Brom, I'm a head coach. So, you know, now there are more and more people involved. Don't get me wrong, still in England, you are the boss. You are the boss at the training ground, you are in charge, and you feel that. In most other countries, there are a lot of more people who are around you, you know, or above you. The problem with, as I said, you have now in Premier League or in Championship, you have more head coaches than managers. So there are people who are there.
Yeah.
The problem with the owners and with those directors or whoever or whatever, blah, 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 is because of social media, they also get a criticism on a daily basis. The fans are slagging them, you know what I mean? 15 years ago, they didn't feel that. They had to come to the stadium for somebody to shout at them, you know what I mean, from 50 yards or whatever.
Is a head coach not a manager?
Now, and they are panicking. And they want to make a decision. And they panic and they got to make a decision. And who is the most responsible one and the most vulnerable one is a manager or a coach.
So Slav, is a head coach and a manager not the same thing anymore?
It is, but when you were a manager, normally there wasn't a director.
A director of football.
Yeah,
it was you were.
That's when I heard Pochettino.
You were in charge of everything. You and when I was at West Ham, it was me directly speaking to Sullivan.
Imagine
more than David Gold, but it was direct.
Your direct line of communication as a manager was to the owner.
Of course.
Now, when you're a head coach, you're answerable to a director of football.
A director, then another director, the sporting director, then the person
responsible
for sport, for transfers. Look at Man United, how many people they appointed.
A director of football, Slav, you take control of a football club. So let's just say you got the job over Ammanham. Now, do you need someone to tell you who you need?
No, but it's not in your hand. You are only responsible.
Why would you agree to that, though, when you take the job?
What can you do?
Say, I don't want the job, then.
I then stay home.
Yes,
that's the way it is. As Ferguson said, adapt or die. It is the situation everywhere. They don't let you today. Football became incredible big business. You know, everybody wants to be part of it. And I agree with that. Okay, no problem. But I agree absolutely with you. If I'm responsible for my team, then let me influence.
Yeah.
Imagine
at least before it was I don't know, Dimitri Payet. Bring me Dimitri Payet. Nowadays, it doesn't have to be like that. I want this one because he can be expensive, he can be this and that. But at least bring me that profile that I like and that I want.
Yeah. So let's finish on this. What brought about the end for you at West Ham?
What do you mean?
Why did it end?
Why did it end? From this position now, I think it was too harsh to me. But I'm not objecting to that. I know that we had a couple of, I would call them great seasons. First season was excellent, and it was the last season at Upton Park. Then the next year, we had a big, massive step. We had to go to Olympic Stadium, which is not easy.
Yeah, I know you need
for a West Ham.
And the fans didn't want it.
And the fans didn't want it, and it's too big.
Were they handing out binoculars with the season tickets?
No, because it was my job.
Yeah.
I spoke with let's say Rooney even told me. When Rooney told me when we had to go to play West Ham away at Bowling Ground in November, they were like, "Oh my God, I don't want to go there. You know, it's a difficult game."
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Olympic Stadium, I remember we played City, and 90 minutes before a game, you come on a pitch to see the pitch and everything. And Man City players were like, "Oh, I can't wait for a game to start." You know, it's different. So it needed time. It needed time for West Ham fans and players and the whole club to adapt to that, to feel it home, to make it home.
Yes.
Now it's home, okay.
Yeah.
And I was part of that last season here. So that transition, I think we done smooth, without being in danger. Then the third season started, and we had to play. Our first 3 games were all away because there were some athletic European championship at Olympic Stadium, and we didn't start great. And after 10, 11, 12 games,
But they love you
I
at
got a
West Ham,
sack.
and I know they still do.
But I'm good. I'm still great with the chairman.
I know you are. Sullivan mentioned you to me. We'll finish the segment on management. I want to finish with one question. If you had the opportunity to manage any Premier League team, any club in the Premier League, what is your ideal choice? What would be your number one?
I don't know. But my club, if I feel my club is West Ham is my club because I play there and I manage there. I've done everything there.
I knew you were going to say
a club.
How do you think Graham Potter will do there? Because he's got a job on his hands.
I like him. I like him. He's composed. He's British, you know. That also counts. And I think he's going to do good. I think the fans will, because you can't dislike.
It's going to need time.
He's good. Yeah, like everybody. But he's got a good team, good squad. West Ham invested a lot in last few years.
Yeah.
You know, they are getting a little bit under the radar. You know, they are doing that progress.
And just on managing again, Slaven, you want to manage again. You want to be a head coach again in football. You still feel you've got something to offer
I'm in the
at
best
that
stage.
high level.
I'm in the best stage. I'm experienced. I'm hungry. I'm energetic. Of course. We'll see. To be fair, I'm enjoying being at home after 12 years now, but also...
Until today. Loving it. Oliver Kahn, and then in defence, Rio Ferdinand and Julian Dix. Julian, I bet you're surprised at that. But that is smashing.
All right.
And then we have...
Be careful tonight.
Julian,
don't joke with Jules.
If you're watching, Julian, I totally take that back.
I wasn't involved.
Now, of course, we cannot have Slaven Bilić on the lineup without asking some of the big questions about Slaven and his background and growing up. So I'm keen to hear, Slav, what it was like growing up in what was formerly Yugoslavia.
Well, I'm not talking politically, but when you are a kid, you don't feel politics, you don't think about politics. But for us, it was great. I had a great childhood. We were always outside, and you played football and you played basketball. I was swimming I trained swimming for 4 or 5 years. We are a very, very sporty country, and especially my hometown, it's unbelievable. We are great in football, great in basketball. We produced, 10 players who were in NBA. Kukoc, Raja and all them. Then tennis, Ivanišević, he won the Wimbledon. Crazy sporty town. For a town, 150,000 people. It's a small town, but great. So I had a great childhood.
But here's the thing, you could play, but you never played at any age levels for Yugoslavia. What was that about?
I was good, but I wasn't great. I mean, at that time, the people were talking to you, you're not playing because you are Croatian, you were Croatian. And there were a lot of Croatians who were playing there. Boban played, Asanovic played, Prosinečki played, they all played, I think at that time I was thinking, why am I not playing, But obviously I wasn't great at that age. I was okay, but I made it afterwards.
But there was nothing. Was there favoritism towards the Serbians as opposed to Croatians?
Probably you couldn't ignore like Boban, Prosinečki, Asanovic, and many others.
They were just
at
too
that
good.
Age. They were too good. And maybe me and the guy from Red Star in Serbia, maybe we were like that. And there was a bit maybe of favorism, but. Maybe I wasn't good enough at that age.
Just in the passing, you're a proud Croat, but you have many Serbian friends. Is everything very relaxed these days in the countries?
It's not relaxed. It's not relaxed, but in the other hand, it is. It's. I mean, the world's. It's 20 or whatever. The war was ages ago, and we all hope that it ain't gonna happen again. But I was in Belgrade now 2 weeks ago, and I felt great. I had friends, and all that. You have many Serbians who are normally coming during the summer to Croatia on summer holidays with their cars, with their registration and everything. And it's normal life, no? Yeah. Normal life.
I want to fast forward to the 8th of May, 91. You were playing at Hajduk Split. in the last Yugoslavian Cup final. What was going through your mind around that time?
That was like that game. It was a last cup final, and the war, bits of it already started. And I remember it was a massive game because Red Star had a great team. That year they won the Champions League against Marseille in Italy, in Bari. So few weeks before we played cup final in Belgrade. It's one game. And I remember a few days before, and it's already escalated the problems between Serbs and Croatia. And I remember it was only 2 or 3 days before the game that they said that the game is going to be on. And I remember we had few foreign players from Czech Republic or there. Jiří Jeslinek was a player, and the coach said, you don't have to go if you don't feel safe. And I think a couple of them, they didn't go with us to Belgrade. And we played and we beat them. And we beat them, and that cup.
In Belgrade.
1-0. Bokšić scored, who later, great striker, he played even for Middlesbrough here. He scored, and we got that trophy, and it is still that trophy is in Split, of course, with us, and it is like a war trophy. It's like a war trophy. It's called like Marshal Tito trophy, from Tito's age. So it was. I can't I can't compare anything any game I can't compare in my career with that game. For my childhood team against Red Star in Belgrade, it was like, that was it.
It was immortality.
Highlight.
You were immortal in the eyes of every Croatian after that.
Well, yeah.
But it was more than just a game.
Definitely. It was like I told you. And the problem was, okay, we won that game. And then I remember we had to go again to Belgrade to play a league. And that was like end of May, like when the season finished, last game, I think, or 2 games to go. That was like a proper fight.
Were you always safe at that time?
Yeah.
Playing these games? Did you ever fear for your life in some of these games?
Nah. You feel safe as a football player. I remember I didn't play that game because I was injured, but me and Bokšić were on stands when Croatia played Yugoslavia or Serbia. That was the qualifications for year 2000, and it was Red Star against Hajduk Split is one thing. Croatia against Serbia is 10 times, is a million times more. And we were there in Belgrade, and a lot of police, a lot of security, a lot of army or whatever. But as a player, you feel safe. And funny enough, you are good with those players. You are teammate with some of them.
How proud were you, Euro 96 and the semi-finals of the 98 World Cup, singing your own national anthem?
It was brilliant. We got independence, and then first major tournament was Euro 96, and it was played here, and I loved it. I was already at West Ham, and we passed the group. We beat Turkey, and then we beat Denmark 3-0 with that chip from Schuker against Schmeichel, and then that's also one of the games that got stuck in my head. The atmosphere. We played quarterfinal against Germany at Old Trafford, and I had a feeling that we are Man United. You had a feeling, that the whole crowd, apart from Germans, are
with you,
but big time with you. And we were unlucky to lose that game. But we needed that game. We needed to lose that game. We lost 2-1 to get confidence, to realize that we are good.
Okay.
You mentioned...
And then 2 years after, at the World Cup in France, we beat Germany in a quarterfinal 3-0.
You mentioned the player there.
We needed that defeat. Sometimes you need defeat or a blow in any way of life to.
You mentioned the player there, and whenever I think of Croatia, I think of this player. He was amazing. How good was Davor Suker?
Unbelievable striker, finisher.
Because you lost Eduardo, obviously, with a horrific injury. But like he's
Eduardo similar, but Davor was. You know what? just to tell you, okay, he's natural, left foot unbelievable, finisher, whatever. But one thing is good, as you said before, it's also good for the kids. Davor Šuker, I came to West Ham. It was January '96. Davor played then at Sevilla in Spain. And at that time, no YouTube, no this, you have like DVDs. And you know, Slav, can you, for next international break, can you bring me those DVDs of Premier League goals, season this, Premier League goals, Alan Shearer goals? Oh, of course I'm going to get you, but why do you need them? No, I want to. He was analyzing goals. Wow. And then he used to tell me then, he said, I said, why do you need them? He goes, you know what? I'm analyzing goals. And I don't know. When a cross comes from right side or whatever, 60% of the goals come from the near post. 20% of the goals, you know what I mean? Like
he was working it out.
He was
breaking it down.
No matter how much natural he is, and he is natural.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He worked.
He did his homework.
Is he a manager? Is he a manager now?
No, he was the chairman of the FA.
He should be with a mindset like that.
But of course, Slaven, you end up managing your own country, Croatia, for 6 years. You have some wonderful players.
Jeez.
But in Luka Modric, what did you have? What do Croatia still have?
Luka is everything, you know.
He is.
Luka is, forget about his skill, his quality, his out part of the foot, his rear view mirrors that he knows, he knows where he is all the time. He's never under pressure and everything. But it's his commitment and determination and hungriness at the age of 39.
39.
That amazes
Real
me.
Madrid.
He was captain of Real Madrid at the weekend.
Great, but
See the goal?
I bet you 9 times out of 10, we don't speak every day. We don't speak on weekly basis, but we speak. So 9 times out of 10, if it's evening, and it's usually evening, you know, when you call him, he goes, boss, what are you doing? I said, I'm watching Juventus Atalanta. Or boss, I watched your game yesterday, championship game. West Brom against Preston.
Yeah.
He's watching.
He's watching. He is committed.
The game, bro.
Yeah.
Totally into that. And that makes the difference.
Yeah,
I
no,
have one
Modric
good
is a
story
quality
about
player
him if
still.
you want to, just to show you. You remember a game a few years ago when he was at Real Madrid, when he played that pass to Rodrigo against Chelsea.
Yeah.
All right. So me and my son, we went to watch that game. It was Tuesday night, Real Madrid against Chelsea. Wednesday night was Atletico City. So brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
So after the game, and that game went to extra time. Real against Chelsea. Went to extra time and everything, blah, blah, blah. So tomorrow, he's not going with us to watch Atletico, but we had a lunch. It was me, my son, Leo, and Kenneth. All right. Luka and Kenneth. So my son, and this is like quarterfinal, this is like maybe beginning of April or whatever. My son asked Luka, do you think you're going to win the league? And it's maybe 12, 14 games to go, you know, and it's between Real and Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like always. And then Luka goes like this. I was like this. Luka goes like this. Look, Leo, now we are playing home against Getafe. Barcelona is playing away against Celta. Then we play home against Valladolid. They play home against this. And then he goes game by game.
Yeah.
And then he goes, 1 game to go, we play against Sevilla. If we win that, we're going to be champion. And I'm like this. You know, nowadays when it's very popular for the players to say, I don't watch football, I don't follow, it's my job.
Yeah.
He knows every game that they had to play and that Barcelona will play until the end of the season. How committed.
Professional.
How committed he is.
But we need to ask, you see Croatia, what's in the water in Croatia? Because I've never seen a team be so old. Like, have you seen like the front three of about 100 years old? And you see when they knocked out England, Croatia always been top quality, have older players. Do you know what I mean? Like older, like for example, you're from Perisic,
I understand it, but
Modric, like their quality of you lot's players, like there's not a lot of people, you see like CR7 will go to Saudi. Modric still at Real Madrid. Perisic is playing for, was it PSV now?
PSV, yeah.
Do you understand, like the quality in the footballers, like they just go for a lot longer.
What is it? Longevity.
Yeah.
What gives you it?
Way of life.
It's just that you are. That's a passion. That's not way of life. We are not very disciplined nation. No. We are
So
not.
what is it? If it's not
we
for
are
water?
not. No, we are not. We are not. We eat. They eat McDonald's. They drink. They smoke. No. We are not very disciplined in that way. No.
Modric must be.
It's
39 at Real Madrid. He must be disciplined.
passion.
Modric,
He is
Perisic,
now.
bro.
Yeah.
But you
there's
say
a lot of
he has an
players.
obsession with the game. Slaven, you're obsessed with the game.
Of course I am. But
It's your job.
it's football. I mean, apart from the family, it's the best thing ever.
And you've worked with some great players, Modric being one. At West Ham, Dimitri Payet.
Dimitri, yeah.
What made him so special?
I think he liked the recognition that he got. He was always big talent in France. He was big talent, but he didn't play for a national team when he came to West Ham. And I remember me signing for West Ham. So I signed for West Ham, and then the chairman, or all three of them, David Gold, late, great guy, unbelievable
David
gentleman,
Gold.
everything.
Yes.
David Sullivan, who is in charge, and Karen Brady, right? So I signed, and David Sullivan goes like, I have a habit to do a favor, to sign one player that the manager wants, straight away, like. And I'm like, okay, let me think about it. And then he goes to me, I have a good friend who is an agent. He's very good with France. He brought Sacco and Valencia, and before some good players. And he mentioned me the name, and I don't know that player. What's his name? Dimitri Payet. And I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, Dimitri Payet. And I remember because I wanted to take Dimitri, who was then at Olympic Marseille, I wanted to take him to Beşiktaş in Turkey, but he didn't want to go. And I said, get him like yesterday. Go get him. And he brought him. And
So it was your
Jimmy came
idea?
and said, it was his idea, to be fair.
Right.
But I said straight away, yeah.
You already know of him.
Of course I knew. But for me it was strange, I think, and it was very early in transfer window, because otherwise West Ham wouldn't stand a chance with Spurs, Arsenal, them or them. So Dimi came and it clicked straight away. Our first game of the season first away game was Arsenal away. 15 years we didn't win there, or whatever, or more. 2-0. Second away game was at Anfield. 40 years we didn't win, 3-0. We won. Third away game, in between we lost home to Leicester and Bournemouth. Third away game, City away. We won 2-1.
That's crazy.
We had a bit of
crazy.
luck,
When you
and
look
then
Where did you
like
finish
that.
that season?
7th.
Okay.
So it was
And a good personal relationship.
And Dimi, it was like a perfect match.
Did you have a good relationship with him?
Yeah,
A good personal
of
one?
course.
Yeah.
And then after that season, he got a call for a French national team. Euro was in France, 2016. If you remember, he started great. He was scoring goals for France. He became like a world star at that moment. And then he came back, and you know what I mean? What was the problem probably? In French national team, he was, all of them, they play Champions League. All of them, they play Champions League. Every one of them, apart from Payet.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? They were like,
In this
probably
year.
when they go back to their clubs, they go, see you on Tuesday. We are playing
Yeah.
Barcelona against Liverpool. Are we playing? Where are we playing? And then he goes and play against Norwich or whatever. So probably that, and he wanted to stay. But then I realized, and I tried to influence the chairman and the board to say, when you are, that's interesting. If you have those kind of players that are becoming bigger, not bigger than the club, but let's say bigger than the club, the only way to keep them is to
Money.
every year to
Incentivize
give them a little bit,
Incentify them.
exactly, or sell them.
Yeah.
or sell them. You know what I mean? It's very difficult.
You gave Declan Rice his debut, Slav. How did you influence him? What was he like to deal with? You know, at West Ham, that's his boyhood club. He was such a big star. Did you see it in him straight away?
Yes, as a player, but not as a midfielder. Although me and my staff, we put him in midfield. But Declan was then biggest prospect in youth team, but he was more West Ham next John Terry. Leader, center back, leader, organize, roll up the sleeves and everything.
Yeah.
But because you always, like in every way of life, you always need the opportunity.
Yeah.
For him, opportunity came because suddenly in a pre-season, Kouyaté and Lanzini got injured. So suddenly, you know, we're a great player. Suddenly we need somebody as an anchor, you know, in front of the defense. And we see Declan is good on a ball and everything. We used to have centre-backs who couldn't play in midfield, like Winston Reid, Ginger Collins. They're great players, but they're proper centre-backs, you know. Yeah. And we put Declan, and Declan straight away, he's very unbelievable confident for that age. Unbelievable.
You've worked with them all.
100 plus million. Did you see that? Did you see that,
Declan.
Slaven? Did you see him going for 100 plus million?
No. I agree. I agree.
I don't think as a defender he wouldn't have went for that much. I think as a midfielder, you know what I mean? I'm not saying defenders can't be that much, but think about it, innit?
It's only the likes of Van Dijk who are going for that.
Slaven, brilliant. What a career, my friend. What a career. And it's not over yet. That's a key thing. It's not over yet. Well, now it's finally here. Next week marks the highlight of the horse racing season. And of course, I'm talking about the start of the Cheltenham Festival. I'm delighted to say we're joined by BetMGM ambassador and former jockey, Megan Nicholls is with us on the show today. Megan, hi to you. How are you feeling about the festival?
Hey, yeah, so excited. You know, it's the biggest, most exciting festival of the year, really, certainly in terms of the jump racing, and you know, to be there and working and involved is awesome, but it's top level racing, and Cheltenham certainly know how to put on a show.
They do. And Megan, your dad Paul, of course, is looking for his 50th Cheltenham Festival winner. How soon into the festival is he going to get that?
Oh, I don't know. We've had some incredible years previously where we've had, you know, multiple winners across the 4 days. The last couple of seasons we haven't quite had the quality of horse required, but we've got a couple of chances. I'm hoping on the Wednesday, I think the last race we've got a good chance in the bumper with a horse called No Drama This End, and if he could win, he's owned by some very good friends as well, then that would be a pretty special one.
Let me make a note of that. No drama this end. Okay, you heard it here first. Megan, here's the thing. The Gold Cup, it's a standout race. Galopin Des Champs is looking for the hat trick here. Only 2 horses have ever done that before. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy by any means. To win 1 Gold Cup is tough. To be going for his 3rd with extremely live chance, favourites chance, is pretty phenomenal. He's everything you could wish for in a racehorse, and you know he is just in a different league at the moment, and I really believe he will be able to do it, and be quite something if he can match the record. And you know the way he's going, I just wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about him going for a 4th one next season. He's just a phenomenal horse.
Hey, Megan, Expressions here. We've all heard of the luck of the Irish, but what I want to ask you, why is it that the Irish are that much better than the Brits? What's going on?
Oh, don't. So frustrating, honestly. I just think at the moment they have probably got a bit of a better quality of horse. And the last couple of years we've seen the turn. It was very much a British domination sort of probably 10 years ago, and the last sort of 4 or 5 years we've seen the turn, and it happens, it goes in full circle. I'm hoping a couple of seasons time it will be back in our favour, but the Irish is so strong at the moment, and believe me, on the Thursday, which they have as sort of the the Paddy's Day, and they've got the Guinness Village. It is just when they have all those winners. Oh my word, it's carnage. And you have to sort of just get involved and go with it. But last year Willie Mullins was so dominating, and it was the whole thing about Ireland are taking over. But it got to a point where we were watching something totally magical happen, and you nearly get past the point of being frustrated that we can't compete to actually then just realizing we're watching magic. And so, yeah, it can be frustrating on days, but we'll be trying our best, and we'll be trying to sort of level it out a little bit if we can.
Hiya, Megan. Tony Bellew here, love. I hope you're doing well. I'm just wondering.
What a start to any question that was.
I'm just wondering. Sir Alex Ferguson had a big winner there last year. Is he going to be amongst them again?
He's got a very good chance again. Yes, Protectorat, who won for him last year in the Ryanair, goes again on the Thursday. It's one of the feature races of the Thursday, and it's a really strong renewal. But this horse is very good round Cheltenham. He goes very well at this time of year, and I think that Sir Alex, along with the co-owners Jed Mason and Peter Stone, have certainly got a massive chance of repeating that. So yeah, he will be right up there. It's a better race again than last year, but he'll go close.
Megan, of course, the big race, the Champion Hurdle, there's a horse in there, Constitution Hill. Slaven Bilić wants me to ask you, is that horse virtually unbeatable in your eyes, Megan?
Yes.
Slaven, it's unbeatable in Megan's eyes.
All right.
Is it?
Yeah, we're happy now, Megan. And why would that be, Megan?
I just think in this division, he's in a different league. It was confirmed this morning that Gordon Elliott is going to run his mare Brighter Days Ahead in the Champion Hurdle, and there's been big talk about her. And, the Irish, of course, are confident and believe that they can beat him. But Constitution Hill is exceptional. He's so fast. The Champion Hurdle is the minimum trip over the smaller obstacles, and he is electric. He's so quick, he's agile, and he just has gears that other horses don't have. It's like watching Usain Bolt. He sort of literally looks around and laughs at the others with, 100 yards to go up Cheltenham Hill. So I think he can do it again, and I can't see him getting
I need one of those horses. Has he got any kids?
Which one's Constitution Hill? No, unfortunately, he doesn't.
I'll just train them from young, innit? Project Mbappe in Cheltenham.
Get him in the Grand National, the biggest race in the world.
Has Constitution Hill got any kids?
Why not? Get me.
Megan, if you were to give me a nap for the whole festival, what would that be? What would you give me?
Well, people are going to go against Constitution Hill, and I do think his price could end up becoming sensible. He's odds on at the moment, but the more that they talk about the Irish horse, he could be on the drift a little bit. But I think there's a filly in the mares race called Jade de Bruges. I think she's a fairly sensible price at the moment, but that is a race that seems to be cutting up. She was maybe around 15 to 8, I think. So she could be one to have a good go at. I think she's probably the most likely winner of the mares. That's on the first day, on Tuesday as well. So you could even double her up with Constitution Hill, and then you're starting the week well. I'm
loving this. And then the BetMGM Queen Mother Champion Chase, Jambon. Am I right about that?
Yeah, it looks his year. He hasn't always been at his best at Cheltenham, and he's yet to win at the festival. However, he has had the best preparation this season. He comes here in top form, probably the best prep he's actually ever had, and he looks better than ever this season for sure. Pretty dominant in this sphere, and yeah, it looks his to lose now. So I think I've normally gone against Jambon, and I unfairly probably don't appreciate his talent as much as I maybe should. But this year, I do think it's his turn.
Megan, fantastic. You would gather already that because of our knowledge or lack of it, we were totally reliant on your expertise there. So, Megan, thank you so much. Now, Slaven, as we do, it's time for you to build your ultimate five-a-side team from players you either used to play with or managed So let's start in goal. What we have is one keeper, one defender, one or two midfielders, or one or two forwards. But let's start with your keeper. No, you can't change the rules.
No, you
Slav,
can,
sorry.
man. Big slap.
I got it.
Big
I will
slap.
change.
Okay.
I will change. So I'm going to go with the keeper, two defenders, two midfielders, and one striker. Okay. All right?
Ah,
See?
and one striker. All right.
Defense win you titles.
Good.
Defense win you
Slav, that's
titles.
Good
sixth place.
idea.
That's sixth place.
So,
Goalie plus 5.
I love the way
That's the proper food. That's the proper street football.
5-a-side.
What, 6 or
Yeah,
7?
by 5 plus the goalkeeper.
no, Slav, you're right. It's your team. One keeper, two defenders, two midfielders,
No,
one
Slav,
forward.
Slav,
Who's
Slav
your
just
keeper?
came in and
Here we
bagged
go,
it up,
guys. Here we go.
My keeper is Oliver Kahn.
Oh, wow.
Oliver Kahn,
What a keeper.
one of the greatest ever.
Bayern Munich's greatest.
Wow.
He was with me when I played for Karlsruhe team in Germany. He was there a season and then he moved to Bayern
Was he
Munich.
an angry man? He seemed like an angry guy.
That's him.
All keepers are
Good
crazy.
guy. Yeah. But
Yeah.
he was.
But if anyone can, Oliver can. All right. So he's your keeper. Now we have two defenders.
Played with some great defenders and I managed some really top defenders. But I would go with Rio Ferdinand. Rio
Rio
Ferdinand. We played at West Ham.
Rolls Royce.
And Julian Dix.
And
Julian Dix.
left foot.
Julian Dix.
Julian Dix, because you need goals. Jules, unbelievable defender, unbelievable leader, and he used to score 9,
piece.
8,
Someone's gone
7
over my head. How am I
set piece,
remembering the other
headers,
two? No, those are
penalties,
big guys.
everything.
That is fast. What was a young Rio like in training?
At the same time, it was Rio and Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Same age, and it was it was like prejudice. With Rio, everybody was so it was obvious.
Yeah.
Because you fall in love with Rio straight away. You need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You need 5 minutes. With Frank, because Frank's father was Harry Redknapp's assistant, and everybody he's there because of his dad. But he wasn't.
Nah,
no,
just look at what he's
biggest
done in the
nonsense
game,
ever.
innit? Look what he's done in the
Biggest
game.
nonsense
Yeah.
ever.
It's better than his father.
But
Sure,
what those blah blah or you know what I mean? That can
Legend.
destroy you.
I'm liking this
Nowadays
team.
with social media, if there was social media today, it would probably affected Frank more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
Maybe he would even quit.
For sure.
Maybe he
I
would
get
even
it.
quit.
I'm loving it. Oliver Kahn, and then in defence, Rio Ferdinand and Julian Dix. Julian, I bet you're surprised at that. But that is smashing.
All right.
And then we have
Be careful tonight.
Julian,
don't joke with Jules.
If you're watching Julian, I totally take that back.
I wasn't involved. I was just here.
Two midfielders.
Look, I played with some great Croatian midfield, Boban, Asanovic, Prosinecki. They are best. Like Prosinecki, you can easily say that he was the best player in the world. Easy. He played for Real and Barcelona.
Yeah.
Not injured, okay? He played here for Portsmouth in the championship.
Yeah. He enjoyed a cigarette, didn't he?
Yeah. And then I managed Modric, Payet, Rakitic,
Rakitic.
Declan Rice. So if I go with two, of course, Modric.
Yeah.
That's
Luka,
without.
100%.
Yeah.
And then I have to choose between Prosinecki and Payet. We need goals.
Payet.
Both would score goals. I would go Prosinecki.
Oh! I felt sure you were going to say Dimitri
The
Payet.
levels,
Robert Prosinecki.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Where is he nowadays?
Payet might not turn up.
He's
on
manager
Champions League football,
of
like.
national team of Montenegro.
Montenegro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top guy.
All you Croatian boys are proper football men. You stay within football.
Stay within football.
Yeah,
Great
we
point, Tony. So you have one striker, one forward. Who?
It's got to be.
There's Bokšić, Duncan Ferguson, Perisic, Mandzukic, Toni Kotti, even Eduardo, great players. I love Bokšić, to be fair, like crazy. But if I have to say one, then it's Šuker. Davor Šuker.
Brilliant. What is it? That's the best yet, isn't it? The best five-a-side
That's
team
definitely
yet.
the best yet because you got batted up and made him put 6 in. You know, but I'm not gonna lie, but you get me. I'm not gonna argue with Slaven. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I'm happy with 6.
This is true. Slaven's five-a-side team has 6 players, but that's fine. We have Oliver Kahn, Rio Ferdinand, Julian Dix, Luka Modric, Robert Prosinecki, and Davor Šuker. I'm liking that. Now, our thanks to Slaven Bilić. Thanks for being with us on the lineup, Slav. We have to wish our YouTube sensation a very happy birthday, though, because Expressions has a birthday.
All right, you like
And to mark the moment, a cake and candles. Happy birthday, my man.
Brother, nah, you lot didn't have to, bro. You lot gonna sing me happy birthday, though. Come on, why is it
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Expressions. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much.
Hey, listen, and I want the Europa League, fam. I want the Europa League.
Happy birthday, mate. Make sure you join us again next month. You have been watching The Lineup, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org.